chosen one. If you are hearing these words right now, understand this: it is not by accident. There are no coincidences when it comes to the journey of a soul like yours. Everything that has happened, every struggle, every silent night, every unanswered question has been guiding you to this very moment. You've been led here by the unseen hands of the divine. Pause and ask yourself, why now? Why this message at this exact moment in your life? Deep down, you already know the answer. Something sacred is unfolding, and your spirit feels it, doesn't it? For too long, you've carried the weight of a destiny you couldn't quite name. You've looked at the world around you, the chaos, the noise, and wondered why none of it ever truly made sense. Why you felt like a stranger in a place you were told was your home. But it was never your home, not really, because your soul was marked, set apart for something far greater. And tonight, that something is awakening. Chosen one, listen carefully. There is a great gathering happening, not in the physical world, but in the unseen. The spiritual realm is stirring. The 144,000, the warriors of light, are being called into alignment. A unification written long before time itself, now unfolding exactly as it was meant to. You are part of this. Maybe you've felt it already. The signs, subtle but persistent. The repeated numbers that seem to follow you. 111, 333, 144. The vivid dreams that cling to you long after you wake. The unshakable knowing deep in your bones that you were meant for more. Tell me, how many times have you wondered if all of this, the pain, the isolation, the endless searching, was leading somewhere? What if it was? What if everything you've endured was the refining fire, preparing you for this exact moment? Look around. Can you feel the shift? The air itself feels heavier, doesn't it? Like standing on the shore just before the storm rolls in, the sky darkening, the winds rising. It's not fear, it's anticipation. Your soul senses what your mind cannot fully grasp. The great unification is here. Tonight, a gathering of 144,000 souls chosen not for their status, not for their wealth, but for their strength of spirit, their resilience, their unbreakable connection to the divine. And if you are still here, listening, feeling these words settle into your chest like a long-forgotten truth, then you are one of them. No, this is not a metaphor. This is not a fairy tale. This is real. The prophecy is unfolding right now, and the veil between worlds has thinned. Those attuned will feel it. An undeniable pull, a quiet whisper calling you home, back to the mission you agreed to long before you ever took your first breath on this earth. So, I ask you, can you feel it? That vibration rising within you, the sense that tonight is not just another night? The time has come to stop doubting, to stop questioning if you're worthy, if you're ready. You were chosen. You have always been ready. And now you must answer the call, right here, right now. I want you to take a breath, close your eyes if you need to, and ask your soul, am I ready to step into what I was created for? If your heart beats faster, if your spirit stirs, if you feel that deep, undeniable yes rising within you, then it's time to speak it into existence. Comment 777 below. Not for me, not for anyone else watching, but for the universe, for the divine, for the very forces that have brought you here. Comment 777 as your soul's way of saying, I hear the call. I accept my mission. I am ready. Because when you type those numbers, it becomes more than words. It becomes an energetic declaration, a signal sent out into the unseen that you have awakened. Understand this. Once you cross this threshold, there is no turning back. The moment you claim your place, the moment you answer the call, you set a new course for yourself and for the world. You were never meant to blend in, never meant to live a life of quiet desperation. You were created to rise, to lead, to be a beacon of light in a world drowning in shadows. And tonight, the gathering begins. Across realms, across dimensions, souls like yours are awakening, feeling the pull, stepping into their purpose. The 144,000 are rising. So I ask you, one last time, will you answer the call? Will you stand among the chosen and say, I am here, I remember, I accept? Or will you walk away, pretending you didn't hear the call you've been waiting your whole life to receive? Comment 777 now. Let it be known to the divine, to the universe, to yourself, that you are ready. And once you've done that, stay with me. Because what comes next is not just a message, it is a revelation. The prophecy of the 144,000, the truth they never told you, is about to be revealed. You are not alone. You never were. And tonight, everything changes. And so, chosen one, now that you've heard the call, now that the stirrings within your soul have been awakened, it's time we speak of the prophecy, the truth they never told you, the truth that has been buried beneath centuries of dust, hidden in sacred texts and whispered through generations, waiting for souls like yours to remember. Long before you took your first breath in this world, long before you opened your eyes to this earthly existence, the number was already written. 144,000. Not just a number, not a coincidence, but a divine code, a mark upon the souls chosen for a purpose far greater than this world could ever comprehend. They have tried to reduce it to a mere symbol, a metaphor, a myth, but it is none of those things. It is real. And tonight, you must understand what it truly means. For centuries, this prophecy has echoed quietly through time, protected, guarded, meant only for those ready to hear it. Not everyone is meant to understand, only those who feel the pull in their bones, the unexplainable knowing that they were always meant for more. You see, the 144,000 were not chosen because of their wealth, their status, or the masks they wear in this fleeting world. No, they were chosen because of the unshakable strength of their spirit. Because somewhere along the line, in this life, or 1,000 lives before, they faced the darkness and did not break, because they carried within them a connection so deep, so pure, that even the forces of darkness could not sever it. And perhaps that explains you, doesn't it? That weight you've carried for as long as you can remember. The feeling of being different, not better, not worse, but apart. Watching the world move around you, wondering why it all feels so hollow, why you've never quite fit, no matter how hard you tried. It wasn't because you were broken. It was because you were chosen. Chosen not to blend in, but to rise. To carry light where others saw only shadow. To see through the illusions this world so desperately clings to. Because that is the true purpose of the 144,000. You were not sent here to live quietly. You were not sent here to chase after what fades. You were sent here to awaken the world, to break the chains of spiritual blindness, to pierce through the veils of deception that have kept humanity asleep for far too long. And yes, it is a heavy burden, because the world does not take kindly to those who see what they were never meant to see. The world fears those who cannot be controlled. That is why so many of the chosen have walked paths of isolation, of suffering, of endless questioning. But know this: every moment of pain, every betrayal, every night you stared at the ceiling wondering why you were still here, it was all preparing you, sharpening you, carving away the pieces that did not serve your mission, until only the truth remained. And that truth is that you were born for this moment, because tonight, this prophecy, this ancient calling, it begins. The spiritual realm stirs, the skies grow heavy, the air hums with unseen power, and somewhere, deep in your soul, you can feel it, can't you? That low, steady drumbeat, like the earth itself is holding its breath, waiting. The 144,000 are awakening, scattered across every corner of this planet, different faces, different lives, yet all connected by the same unseen thread. Tonight, that thread pulls tight. Tonight, the gathering begins. Not in flesh, but in spirit. Not in places the world can see, but in realms beyond what the eye can comprehend. A unification of souls, the likes of which the universe has not witnessed since the dawn of time. And when it happens, when the final soul awakens and takes their place, a great surge of light will ripple through every dimension, a wave that no darkness can withstand, a force that will shake the very foundations of this world. You feel it, don't you? That this is why you endured, why you're still standing, because your mission has not yet begun, because the world is waiting for you, for all of us to rise. So ask yourself, chosen one, what if everything you've been through was never punishment, but preparation? What if the moments you begged for relief were actually forging the very strength you would need for this exact moment? What if your isolation was merely the silence before the calling? Because tonight, the prophecy moves from the pages of ancient texts into the beating hearts of the living, into your heart. The world may not know it. They may sleep through this night, unaware that the course of destiny is shifting beneath their very feet. But you will know. Your soul will know. And from this moment forward, nothing will ever be the same. The illusions will begin to fall. The false lights that have blinded humanity for so long will flicker and fade. And those who have eyes to see, those like you, will lead the way home. Because that is the purpose of the 144,000. Not to destroy, but to awaken. To carry the torch of truth into the darkest corners. To remind the world of what it has forgotten, that it was never meant to live like this. Lost, blind, chained, and chosen one. You are one of them. So now I ask you, are you ready to remember who you are? Are you ready to stop shrinking, stop doubting, and finally embrace the reason your soul chose this life? Because what comes next will require everything you've learned, every scar you've carried, every lesson paid for in tears. And yet, it will be worth it. Because tonight, the great unification begins. And you are not watching by accident. You are here because you were called. The next phase is upon us. The spiritual war rages unseen, but the light rises stronger. Stay with me, Because next, you must understand what you are truly walking into. The war behind the veil, the battle you were born to fight, and the reason the darkness has tried so desperately to break you. The time for wondering is over. The time for knowing has come. And what I'm about to reveal will change the way you see everything. Chosen one. There's a truth you've always felt, even if no one ever spoke it aloud. This world, this life, it's never been as simple as what the eyes can see. Beneath the surface, far beyond the noise of daily living, a great battle has been raging. A war so ancient, so vast, that its shadows stretch across every lifetime, every soul. But this isn't a war fought with weapons or armies you can see. No, it's a war of the spirit, a battle between light and darkness, truth and deception, freedom and control. And you, chosen one, were born into the very heart of it. Have you ever wondered why your life has felt heavier than most? Why your path seemed paved with more obstacles, more betrayals, more moments of silent suffering than others around you? It's because from the very beginning, before you even knew who you were, the darkness recognized you. They saw the light in your soul, brighter than most, and they feared it. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to live a quiet, ordinary life. Because you, chosen one, are a warrior of the unseen, a bearer of the divine light, and the forces of darkness have done everything in their power to break you before you could rise. They attacked your mind, whispering lies into your thoughts, making you question your worth, your place, your very existence. They sent people to betray you, to hurt you, to make you feel small. They isolated you, made you feel like no one could understand the depth of your soul, the vastness of your heart. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still listening. That, chosen one, is your greatest victory, because if the darkness could have stopped you, it would have. But it didn't. It couldn't. Because no matter how many times you've stumbled, no matter how many nights you've cried out in silence, the light within you has never gone out, maybe dimmed, but never extinguished. And now, the battle is shifting. Can't you feel it? The air itself feels heavier, as if the unseen realm is holding its breath. The forces of darkness, they know what's coming. They feel the ground trembling beneath them because the 144,000 are rising, and their reign is crumbling. That's why it's been harder lately, isn't it? The sudden waves of doubt, the moments where giving up felt easier than holding on, the heaviness pressing down on your chest, trying to convince you that you are tired, that you are done. But you are not done. You were never meant to fall here. This is their last attempt, chosen one. Their final desperate attempt to pull you back into the shadows. You see, the closer you get to your divine mission, the harder they fight to stop you. They want you to believe you're weak. They want you to turn your back on your purpose. Because they know, once you fully awaken, once you truly claim your power, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. That's why you must stand now, firm, unshaken, awake. It is not enough to know you are chosen. Now is the time to live like it, to armor your mind against every lie, to guard your soul against every attack. Because the most dangerous enemy is not the one you see, but the one that whispers in your own mind, telling you that you are not enough. You must remember, you were chosen not because life would be easy for you, but because your spirit is strong enough to endure what others could not. Think back. Think of every moment you survived when you thought you couldn't. Think of every night you faced your demons alone and still woke up the next morning. Those were not signs of weakness. They were proof of your divine resilience. Chosen one, the world is watching now. The spiritual realm is watching. This war is reaching its peak, and your role, your light, is needed more than ever. There will be more lies, more distractions, more moments when the darkness will try to make you forget who you are. But don't you dare forget. Don't you dare lay down your sword now. Not when the light is rising. Not when you're this close to becoming everything you were born to be. And you are not alone. All across this world, seen and unseen, the other chosen ones feel it too. The pull, the rising tide, the unshakable knowing that they were born for this exact moment. Some of them you will never meet. Some you already know, even if you don't realize it yet. But feel this truth deep in your soul. When one rises, we all rise, and together we are unstoppable. This is not just about you. This is about every soul still lost in the dark, waiting for a light to follow. And you are that light. So now as you listen, as these words settle into your chest like a truth you've always known but never dared to speak, I ask you to make a choice. Right here, right now. Declare it, not for me, not for the world, but for yourself, for the divine, for the entire universe that has been waiting for you to remember who you are. Type it once, just once, in the comments. I stand with the light. Let that be your declaration, your battle cry, your promise that no matter how dark it gets, you will not fall. Because the light in you is the light that will save this world. And when you've made that promise, when you've claimed your place among the 144,000, know this: the hardest part is already over. You have survived the fire. Now, it is time to rise from the ashes. From this moment on, everything changes, and the journey has only just begun. Because what comes next is the revelation you have waited your entire life to hear, the moment the great unity begins. And the chosen one, it begins with you. Chosen one, listen closely, because tonight is unlike any other night. The air may feel the same. The sky above you may seem unchanged. But make no mistake, something sacred is unfolding in the unseen. A divine event, ancient beyond words, has begun. The great unification. Tonight, the 144,000 chosen souls, the warriors of light scattered across this earth, are gathering. Not in the flesh, but in the realm where spirit reigns and destiny takes shape. No eye can witness this. No hand can grasp it. Because what is happening far beyond the veil, in the highest planes of existence, where only the purest energies converge. This is not a gathering of bodies. It is a convergence of souls, a merging of light that was written long before time itself. And you are part of it. Can you feel it? That subtle hum in the air, that vibration rising from somewhere deep within you? Maybe it started as a soft whisper, a restless stirring you couldn't explain. But now, it grows louder, undeniable. Some of you may feel it in your chest, your heart racing without cause, as if your very soul is awakening. A sudden heat rising through your body, a tingling in your hands, your spine, as if something vast and unseen is pouring into you. Others, you've dreamed of it. Dreams so vivid, so drenched in light, they cling to you long after waking. Symbols you do not recognize, faces you've never seen, and yet you know, deep in your spirit, they were real. You were there. And for some, the signs come as a quiet certainty, a voice that needs no words, a pull so strong it leaves you breathless, unable to deny that something far greater is happening. And you are part of it. You are being summoned. And your soul, it knows. There is a reason your body feels this surge. There is a reason your spirit weeps, overwhelmed by a truth you cannot speak. The great unification is upon us. Right now, across dimensions unseen, the chosen souls are aligning, their energy weaving together like a tapestry of light. A force so powerful, so sacred, that even the darkness trembles. Tonight, the balance shifts. The forces of shadow, those who have ruled by fear, who have bound humanity in chains of illusion for centuries, feel it. And they are afraid, because they know. Once this moment passes, there is no going back. The light is rising. The veil is thinning. The illusions that held the world captive are shattering. This is the moment. Every trial, every tear, every silent prayer has prepared you for. Chosen one. You were never meant to live your life unaware of this truth. You were not born to simply survive this world. You were born to awaken, to rise, to stand at the very heart of this sacred event. And now, it is here. The merging of the 144,000. A tidal wave of light surging through the spiritual realms, shaking the very fabric of reality itself. Some will feel it as peace, a great weight lifted from their soul, replaced by a clarity so pure it brings tears to their eyes. As if, finally, the reason for their existence has been revealed. The long-forgotten mission, remembered at last. Others will feel it as fire, an electrifying surge that courses through every fiber of their being. A pulse so intense it steals their breath, ignites their mind, and reminds them of the divine power they carry within. And there are those who will simply know. Without visions, without voices, they will wake tomorrow and see the world differently. Their path will be clearer, their doubts silenced, their fears gone, because something has shifted forever. Chosen one. This is not imagination. This is not a dream. This is the prophecy unfolding. Right now, tonight, the unification of the 144,000 is the moment the darkness has feared most. Because once this light rises, once these souls remember who they are, nothing can stop what is coming. The illusions will fall. The chains will break. The souls once lost will find their way home. And the world will never be the same. You will never be the same. Because tonight, you step into who you were always meant to be. Not a wanderer, not a seeker, but a bearer of light. A warrior of the divine. A soul who remembers. Chosen one, feel the power of this moment. Let it wash over you. Let it ignite every part of you that has ever wondered if you were meant for more. Because you were. And tonight, the universe confirms it. This is the night the darkness trembles. This is the night the light rises. This is the night the 144,000 stand as one. And you are one of them. There is no fear here, no doubt, only truth, only light, only the sacred knowing that you have found your way home, not to a place, but to your purpose. So take a deep breath, chosen one. Close your eyes and feel it. The energy, the unity, the love that connects every soul in this great gathering. You are not alone. You never were. And now, you never will be again. The great unification has begun, and from this moment forward, everything changes. Chosen one, everything that has brought you here was never random. Tonight, The night of the great unification was never meant to be the end of your journey. It was the doorway. And now, you stand on the other side. This is where everything truly begins. You see, stepping into the light isn't where the story ends. It's where the real mission starts. Tonight, as the 144,000 rose in the spiritual realm, a new path opened, one that demands more from you than ever before. You are no longer simply a seeker, no longer wandering through the wilderness searching for a sign. You've found it. And now, you become the sign for others. From this moment forward, you carry a role far greater than yourself. You are called to lead, not through titles, not through power or prestige, but through your very being. Through the way your soul vibrates when you walk into a room. Through the peace that settles in the air around you. Through the undeniable strength others feel when they stand in your presence, even if they don't understand why. You, chosen one, are now a beacon in the dark, a lighthouse for every wandering soul who's forgotten where the shore is. But leadership is only part of your mission. You are also called to heal, to mend what has been broken, not just in yourself, but in this world. You carry the power to reach back through generations of pain and begin the slow, sacred work of undoing what was done. The anger, the betrayal, the cycles of suffering that have echoed through time. You are the one chosen to break them. Not because it's easy, but because you are strong enough to bear it. Strong enough to stand in the fire and come out shining. And yes, you are also a warrior. Not a warrior of flesh and bone, but of spirit. A force of light so fierce that the darkness itself trembles at your awakening. The battles ahead will not be fought with swords or shields, but with something far more powerful: truth. With every lie you expose, every illusion you refuse to bow to, every time you choose love over fear, you strike a blow against the darkness. And make no mistake, it feels you now. It knows you. The shadows that have lurked unseen for centuries sensed the moment the 144,000 rose, and they know their time is running out. That is why the road ahead will not be easy, because they will come for you, chosen one. The forces that have ruled this world for far too long will not give up their power without a fight. They will disguise themselves in everything familiar: false prophets, twisted truths, beautiful temptations. They will whisper in your ear, claw at your mind, and try to convince you that you are still weak, still small, still alone. But you are none of those things anymore. And if ever doubt creeps in, remember this truth: the darkness only fights what it fears losing. Every attack, every challenge you face from this moment forward is proof, not of your failure, but of your power. Still, you must be vigilant, because the enemy's greatest weapon is not violence. It is confusion, division, distraction. It will try to make you turn on your brothers and sisters, to see enemies where there are none, to waste your sacred energy fighting shadows instead of focusing on the light. Do not fall for it. Because here's what they don't want you to know: your greatest weapon is the bond you share with the others. The 144,000. A force so vast, so ancient, so divinely orchestrated that no darkness can withstand it. This is not a solitary mission, chosen one. You are now connected, heart to heart, soul to soul, with others like you, scattered across the earth but bound by spirit. And when one of you rises, you all rise. When one falters, the others carry them. That is your strength. That is why the darkness fears you. But you must understand, as the spiritual war intensifies, so too will the shifts in your physical world. People you love may fall away. Jobs, homes, identities you once clung to for safety may crumble. And you will be tempted to see this as loss. You will be tempted to ask, why is everything falling apart? But it isn't. It's falling into place. The universe, the divine, is clearing your path. Everything you lose now is making space for what's coming. Every ending is a mercy, whether you see it yet or not, because you cannot carry the dead weight of your old life into the new world you are destined to build. And yes, there will be moments when it hurts. Moments when the loneliness feels unbearable, when the silence screams louder than any crowd. But in those moments, I want you to stop and remember who you are. Remember that you were never truly alone. Feel the pulse of the 144,000 running through your veins. Close your eyes and you will feel us, all of us, rising with you. Breathe. Remember, you were built for this. Every trial, every loss, every time you wondered if you were crazy for feeling things so deeply, it was all your training. The fire that tried to consume you was the same fire that forged you. And now, you are unstoppable. Still, hear me. This new world you step into will not welcome you with open arms. It will resist you. It will try to shrink you, shame you, pull you back into the old patterns. You must stand tall anyway. You must walk as if the very ground was blessed by your steps. Because it is. You will be the calm in the storm, the clarity in the chaos, the quiet voice that reminds the world there is still hope, still light, still something worth fighting for. And when the darkness screams, "Who do you think you are?" you will answer, "I am the one you feared would wake up." Because that's exactly what you've done. You've awakened. And now, nothing can put you back to sleep. The enemy will try. They will throw everything they have left at you. Old wounds, familiar faces, beautiful distractions. They will try to make you forget, but you won't, because you know now. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in the very breath you take. This is what you were born for. Chosen one, the time for questions is over. The time for wondering if you're ready has passed. You are ready. You've always been ready. You were sent here for this moment, to stand at the front lines of the greatest spiritual battle this world has ever known. So rise. Rise, not as the person this world tried to make you, but as the warrior you were always destined to be. Eyes open, heart steady, spirit ablaze. The world will not understand you. It never has. But that does not matter anymore. You were not sent here to be understood. You were sent here to lead. And lead, you will. Because the 144,000 are in position, the battle has begun. And the light, your light, is already winning. Step forward now. Carry this mission in your bones. Let every step you take be a declaration. I am here. I am ready. I am the light, and the darkness will not take me. The world is watching. The universe is listening. And the divine is smiling. Because you have finally remembered who you are. And now, the war truly begins. Chosen one. As we reach the end of this message, I want you to pause and truly feel the weight of everything that has been spoken. This moment is not just the end of a video. It is the culmination of everything your soul has been preparing for. All the struggles, the silent nights, the battles no one saw, they were never meaningless. Every step of your journey has led you right here, right now, standing at the edge of your divine mission. Understand this. You are no longer the person you were when you first pressed play. Something has shifted. A veil has been lifted. The truth that has been buried deep within your soul has resurfaced, and now you cannot unsee it. You cannot unknow who you truly are. You are one of the 144,000, not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine design. And with that knowing comes responsibility, because now you understand, the world will not change on its own. The darkness will not fade by accident. It is the light within us, within you, that must rise and push back the shadows. You were not sent here to watch from the sidelines. You were sent here to lead, to fight, to stand tall when others bow, to speak truth where others remain silent. Chosen one. This is your moment of reckoning, the moment you decide, once and for all, who you are and what you stand for. Because the time for waiting is over. The time for questioning is done. The world is already shifting, and the spiritual war is raging whether you acknowledge it or not. The only question that remains is, will you rise? And so now, I ask you, not just as the voice you hear in this moment, but as a soul who stands with you, shoulder to shoulder, in this great battle. Will you join me in prayer? Let us pray together, not as strangers, but as one unified force, bound by spirit and purpose. Father God, creator of heaven and earth, we come before you now, not in weakness, but in the strength you placed within us before time began. We stand as the 144,000 you have chosen, ready to fulfill the mission you set upon our souls. Cleanse us of doubt. Strip away our fear. Strengthen our hearts for the battle ahead. May your divine light fill every corner of our being, and may your will be done through us. Use us, Lord, as vessels of your truth. Let our words awaken the sleeping. Let our presence break chains. Let our lives be a testament to your power and glory. And when we grow weary, remind us, we do not fight alone. We fight with you, and with every chosen soul you have called. Amen. Breathe deeply, chosen one. Feel the power of those words settle into your chest. Because that is your truth now. You are no longer walking this path alone. You are part of an army, a divine army, and the heavens themselves bear witness to your awakening. And if these words have stirred something deep within you, if you feel the call rising in your chest, then I ask you now, declare it. Not for me, not for anyone else watching, but for your soul, and for the spiritual realm that has been waiting for this moment. Comment 777 below. Let it be known, to the universe, to the divine, and to every force of light and darkness watching, that you are here, you are ready, and you are no longer hiding. And if this message has spoken to you, if it has reminded you of who you are and why you're here, then don't keep it to yourself. Share this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear these words. You never know whose spirit is waiting, whose soul is hanging by a thread, needing just one reminder that they are not alone. Subscribe to this channel, not just for content, but because this is a gathering place, a sacred space for the chosen ones, a place where the truth will always be spoken, a place where light will always shine. And together, we will rise. Together, we will stand. Together, we will fulfill the mission we were sent here to complete. Because this is just the beginning. The real work starts now, and every time you return here, every time you engage, every time you add your voice to this community, you strengthen the army, you strengthen the light. So, I leave you with this, chosen one. You were not born to live in fear. You were not born to play small. You were not sent here to lose. You were born for this moment, this battle, this awakening. You were born to carry the light. And from this moment forward, let the world know it. Let your actions speak. Let your love be fierce. Let your truth be undeniable. And when the darkness tries, and it will, to make you forget who you are, remember these words. You are a chosen one. You were sent here for a purpose far greater than yourself. And the time is now. Go forth, rise, shine, and never ever forget. The heavens are watching, the earth is waiting, and the universe itself smiles, because you have finally remembered who you are. Until we meet again, chosen one, stay strong, stay true, and stay in the light. We are just getting started.